Hi, my name is Chris and this is Battle Nonsense. About a month ago I did a netcode analysis for the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 PC beta, which showed quite good results. If you haven't seen that video yet, then you can find a link in the description down below, where you will also find a link to my Netcode 101 video, in which I explain some networking basics, like tick rates, update rates, network models, super bullets, lag compensation and packet loss, as well as a few other things like how I do my network delay tests. The reason why I no longer include this basic information in every netcode analysis is not to get you to watch more of my videos. I've created this Netcode 101 video as my patrons and subscribers requested that I should keep the actual netcode analysis video as short as possible. Now, today's video is about Blackout, the Battle Royale mode that comes with Black Ops 4 and currently supports up to 88 players. So let's dive right in and take a look at the network data that I captured with Wireshark, which wasn't that easy to get as the developers decided to close the game as soon as you launch Wireshark. Now, in my netcode analysis for the normal multiplayer of Black Ops 4, I showed you that the server sends about 62 updates per second to the client, which means that it most likely runs at a tick or simulation rate of 62 Hz, which is good for a fast-paced first-person shooter. The only thing that was off was that the game client sent fewer updates than it received from the server. Usually the client sends more updates than it receives. A tick rate of 60 Hz is relatively easy to achieve when you have less than 32 players. But in the Blackout beta we had up to 88 players. And that has a really strong impact on the server's ability to maintain a stable send rate, as you can see here. The server sends 20 updates when the match starts. Once the first players hit the ground, the send rate of the server drops to just 10 Hz, or one update every 100 milliseconds. It then stays at that low send rate during the early phase of the match, where we have the most intense firefights. Only once there are about 50 players left, the server can do 20 updates per second again, or one update every 50 milliseconds. So Blackout suffers from the exact same issue that Fortnite and PUBG had for a very long time. Only recently these games could increase the efficiency of the networking enough to have the server maintain a stable tick rate throughout the entire match. Before I show you what impact a low tick rate has on the network delay or lag, let's take a quick look at how much up and downstream bandwidth is required to play Blackout. Compared to the normal multiplayer, the Battle Royale mode needs less bandwidth, which isn't a surprise as Blackout uses lower update rates. Now, how about the network delay that two players experience when they play on the same dedicated server at a ping of 25 milliseconds each? In the first multiplayer beta of Black Ops 4, the server sent about 62 updates per second to the clients, and that did result in quite good network delays. In the Blackout beta, the servers were sadly not able to reach such a high update rate. Until there were just 50 players left, players only received 10 updates per second from the server, which had a massive impact on the network delays, as you can see here. In the beta, the frame rate of the client was also limited to just 90 FPS on PC, so that also had a small impact on the delay values. The final version should not have that limitation, so I'm curious to see how running the game at frame rates higher than 90 will affect the delay values. Compared to Fortnite as well as PUBG, Blackout has worse network delays, as its servers can't provide the same server send rate throughout the entire match. So, since the game will release next month, it is safe to assume that this will not change until then, which means that players will notice much more lag in the Battle Royale mode than in the normal multiplayer of Black Ops 4. Then there's the good old issue with the lag compensation. Black Ops 4 doesn't care about the player experience when someone with a high ping fires at a player who has a low ping to the server. The game will always register a hit no matter how high the ping of the shooter is, which means that they register hits at the expense of the experience of players who have a good and low latency connection to the server, which is a rage-inducing experience, especially in the Battle Royale game mode where you have just one life. So to fix this, the developers and the publisher must make sure that they provide servers in every region they sell the game in, so that everyone who buys the game has access to low latency servers. And they must prioritize the online experience of players who have a stable and low latency connection to the server, instead of degrading their experience when they get shot by someone who has a bad connection to the server. I also want to mention that while the game provides an option to show you your latency to the server, it does not show you any other important network stats, like latency variation or packet loss. It also does not have any sort of warning icons that will tell you when there is an issue with your connection to the server, which would not only help the player to understand why he is having issues, it would also help the developers when they watch gameplay footage that shows an issue, because when these warning icons are visible, then you know what is or what was happening. Oddly enough, the Call of Duty World War II beta had such icons, but they didn't make it into the final game for some reason, and they are still missing in this game as well. So the Blackout game mode is definitely a lot of fun and provides a new experience for Call of Duty fans. But the network performance in the beta showed that the developers still have a long way ahead of them until their game can achieve network delays as low as those found in Fortnite or PUBG. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this netcode analysis for the Blackout game mode of Call of Duty Black Ops 4, then it would be great if you could support me on Patreon. Without the awesome support that I get from my patrons, Battle Nonsense would not exist anymore. You can find a link to my Patreon in the description down below, where you will also find links to my social accounts in case that you want to stay up to date on the videos that I'm working on. So if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, have a nice day and take care. My name is Chris and this was Battle Nonsense.